Whoa, whoa, whoa! Greetings and welcome back, gentles and ladiesmen, to another testicular-rific episode of Spyro the Dagon.
Testicular-rific episode.
So we finally reached... This guy got captured again, apparently.
You're in Nasty's world now, Spyro. And you are
They spelled "you're" wrong.
Did it have the...
It didn't have the
I missed
apostrophe.
it. Did it?
Each of Nasty's land.
Was it Y-O-U-R or
Yes,
Y-O-U?
it was a possessive instead of a conjugation.
How can they still do that in a professionally released?
Well, the thing is that those subtitles were an afterthought. When the game released, it did not have them. So people had to complain and say that, hey, this is not good for, people who are hard of hearing. So you gotta...
I was about to say, how could anybody possibly release in the game in the year of our Jeebus 2018 and not have subtitles?
If it's Activision?
Mm-hmm.
You mean Toys for Bob?
Toys for Bunghole.
Hey, Spyro, where you been at? Let's see some fire for me.
Spit that fire one time. Come
Yeah,
down
that's
here,
right, that's
nephew.
what he
I'm going to
said.
drag you in.
Why is it taking so long to load this?
Because the load times are fixed, remember?
Yes, I remember.
I don't remember.
All right. So the final world is harbor themed for whatever reason. It's kind of
All right,
weird.
time for our every 2-minute check. Is everybody still recording?
Well, I'd have to leave the game to find out. So,
Mikey, be sure to leave that in of me asking that question.
do you even have to ask? All right.
No, I don't.
Let's see. Yeah, so let's hear some onion rangs. Ethan, did you remember what the rangs that you were going to talk about earlier?
Michael was supposed to ask me what?
You said earlier that there was something that you wanted to say, but you had forgotten.
He forgot.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know what it is.
So you didn't... It's not like you wrote it down, you left it somewhere?
No, I didn't write it down. I was like, oh, I'm going to remember this to say on the first, as soon as we start tomorrow. And then we started, and then it no longer exists in my mind because I did not write it down.
Okay.
So instead, I'll ask Mikey what the hell he means by this gigantic beanbag he had.
Oh, God, that's a fun story. Okay. Well, I think I was in 4th or 5th grade, and Eric was in, second or third grade. And that year, Eric decided to dress up as Mario, and I was Luigi, I think. And everybody loved his costume so much that he won some kind of costume contest. Oh yeah, by the way, all the dragons in this world are recaptured for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure it's the same in the original, if I'm not mistaken. But,
Okay.
yeah. So Eric won this costume contest where it's like, vote in your favorite costume. And as a prize, he got this giant gorilla beanbag thing. It's like a giant Beanie Baby.
He gets this giant gorilla. It's like a real-life gorilla that obliterates your house and kills everybody.
And like this... and it's like at some... And that's really the long and short of it, but the weird thing about this gorilla is that it was very easy to... Can I move this over there? Is it going to blow up? It's going to blow up.
It was very easy to give me a boner.
Well, yeah, the thing about that stupid gorilla is that a hole got cut in it somehow, or,
Yeah, I have a feeling I know where that hole got cut.
Oh, it wasn't... Don't be like that, dude.
I like this. I like the music in this stage. It's actually pretty good. You have the music cranked up way higher than it's ever been before, but I can actually hear it. But where was this hole?
I don't know where the hole... The point of me bringing up the hole is that it started leaking beans everywhere. And, bless you, that was the weirdest
Everybody's
achiew
ever had
I've
a
ever heard.
beanbag has encountered this.
And so at some point we had to throw the thing away, but it's just like, for a while in our playroom there was just like a giant bean-stuffed fucking gorilla hanging out in our thing. And we like...
And at what point does this become a fun story?
Soon.
Well, the story's over. That's really all there is to it.
Where was the fun part?
Apparently, you and I have very different thresholds for fun in stories. So.
Oh, this is a fun story. My brother won a contest and got a giant gorilla, and the gorilla proceeded to stay in our playroom for several years until it broke. Wasn't that funny?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, that was a Parappa the Rapper reference, by the way.
The guy just now?
Well, Spyro just said, "You gotta believe."
You gotta believe. You have to go to Belize. Season 36 might be the last season of Simpsons.
Oh, finally! It only took them what, like 40 years?
I mean, I just said season 36.
Jesus Christ!
Season, you're 36.
Thank you, Alonzo. I appreciate that.
86, those patties, crabs.
I'd like to see how you'd accomplish this task.
With enough will, enough grit, enough lubricant, anything can be done.
Ooh.
And enough concentrated power of will.
No, just the lubricant's the big part.
And 100% reason to remember the fart.
Speaking of which, Alonzo, did you listen to the new Linkin Park record?
No.
Okay. Just didn't get around to it, or have no interest?
Just haven't gotten to it. Gotten to it yet.
I personally thought it was okay. That's kind of how I felt about a lot of their stuff, but then I went back
I like that
listen.
sound effect of the barrel running into the other barrel. Wait. Listen to it. That's very satisfying sounding.
Yeah. The remake has good sound design. Better than the originals, honestly. Oh, I think I can blow this up, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't need a fucking key to open it. It's cool. Alright, we still got a couple of gems left, and then we're pretty much done with this level. And one tip for everybody who's following at home, because I know you all are, is that make sure to actually take the exit pad in the level this time, because if you just exit through the menu, it won't open the next level. I don't know why that matters when you've already fully completed the level otherwise, but yeah, you have to take the exit pad for all the levels in Nasty's world. And yeah.
Spyro music is so fun.
Party music?
Spyro music.
Yeah.
Spore music?
Spyro music.
Sporn the Dragon.
The music in this game is a little bit more subdued than the sequels are.
Right.
So it's a little bit like, it's definitely rock music, because Stuart Copeland loves that overdrive guitar, I gotta say. Yeah, but in the later games it gets a little more poppy and bombastic. In this game it's a little bit more about the fucking goddamn ambiance. Oh, by the way, I've been saving this rant for the whole playthrough, because it's quite frankly kind of silly, but where do I start in this one? So
My life as a teenage robot.
My life as a teenage robot.
Jenny was one of my
watched that
first
series?
crushes, actually.
Everybody loved Jenny XJ9 because she was the cutest protagonist.
Yeah, okay, so it wasn't just me.
And she made my Willy feel funny.
Okay, Mikey, your rant.
Alright, you can see here that these enemies have like giant paintball cannon things that look straight out of Ratchet and Clank. In the original game, they just have AK-47s. I'm not making that up. They have like military-grade machine guns. And there's a secret path over here.
Mikey, edit in AK-47 footage from the original without me asking.
Okay. Well, it's kind of too late because you already did ask for it.
You would have edited it in already.
Yeah, I was definitely going to, but you can see like now they're spitting out like purple goo. And there's a friend of mine, or to paraphrase something he said about me once, there's someone I sometimes respect who did a video recently about a possible God of War remaster situation, because like...
Somebody you sometimes respect?
Well, yeah, those are the words that he used to describe me, so I'm using them to describe him now. That's someone I sometimes respect. And he basically said,
is it
like,
Jay's reviews?
No.
Wait, why are you trying to start drama, Ethan?
No, I guess he's...
You're trying to start.
I don't understand.
Wait.
I'm not trying to start anything. I don't understand what he's talking about.
I'm saying, like, he intended that to be like, oh yeah, this is a friend of mine, but he phrased it as someone I sometimes respect, which implies that there are times where he doesn't respect me.
I took that wrong. Never mind, Ethan, you're good. I'm the one starting drama. I thought it...
I'm so confused. Yeah. Who is that?
He's a friend of mine, so I'd prefer not to say.
Oh, wait,
like,
wait.
You guys are making a
out.
bigger thing out of it than I intended to, but he was basically like, okay, if they make a remaster of God of War for PS5 or whatever, here's like my wish list of things to do, and like his first thing he said was like, one, don't censor anything, because the original God of War has a ton of nudity in it, where, you know, like there's just ladies with their tits hanging out, and that's just a thing in that game, and it's rated
PS2?
M, so whatever. And he's just like, yeah, if they remake that, don't censor that.
PS2 games had boobs in it.
What?
I didn't even think any PS2 games had nudity in them. I didn't think that was really a thing until the 7th gen, was it?
Well, I mean, like, I think... No, actually, technically, I think that game never came out. There's some kind of weird PS1 one-on-one fighter that had, like, nudity in it that never came out because it was too risque.
I mean, there's Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Laude for the
and
PS2,
let me guess,
but only the
cum is not pronounced the way that you just said it.
Magna cum on your loudie.
Only the European version was uncensored. So what did I do? I bought that version, but it doesn't play on my PS2.
Well, anyway.
Oh, fuck nuggets.
So the reason let's see, how am I gonna break that? I know what to do. Yeah, but the reason he brought up the Reignited trilogy as a counterexample to what he didn't want, because he's just like, in the Reignited trilogy, they censored the AK-47s, and it was very disrespectful to the developer's original vision and stuff like that. And I'm hearing that, and I'm just like, I feel like that's
They changed the shotguns to Rocky Talkies.
Because, like, and I talked to him more about this in private, and he's basically like, oh yeah, it feels like reactionary in response to all the gun violence in the US or something like that. And it's just like, I feel like, with all due respect to him, are we really sitting here making a big deal about what type of gun they're holding and calling that disrespectful? I feel like these new guns are actually way more visually interesting than just an AK-47 anyway. It kind of felt out of place.
Yeah, people find anything to complain about.
I mean, thematically, I think the slime gun probably fits more, but
yeah,
I get what he's talking about.
But does it really, like, affect anything?
No, it functions gameplay-wise the exact same as the original AK-47s.
Right.
The point is, you have enemies with ranged weapons who can hit you from a distance, and you gotta dodge their fire. It doesn't really change anything. The only thing that... Because, like, that's the thing with the Reignited trilogy, and I've kind of alluded to this. You'll remember there was the guy who commented on part 1 who was just like, this remake is a thing. Why did they make it look like Fortnite and everything? And that's kind of like the main reaction to the Reignited trilogy from the old guard of Spyro fans, I find, is that they're kind of like, you know, like, why did they make so many changes to a game I grew up with? Why couldn't they just make it the exact same thing as the original? You know, and there's part of me that understands, like, I would be curious to see what a version of the Reignited trilogy would look like that had something more loyal to the original art style and stuff.
When are they going to port it to the 32X?
Probably never, because
I feel like there's somebody that I watched that does videos similar to that, where they, like, have a remake or a re-break of something. And they talk about this kind of stuff. And I love their videos.
Oh, you're talking about me.
Yeah, I listen to it.
I don't know. They've been gone for so long. I don't even remember what their name was anymore. Was it Tommy Tallarico?
Terrence Tallarico took credit for my
videos.
Was it
Terrence Tallarico? Oh, no, it was Haydox.
I mean, generally speaking, when I do my reviews, like, I reviewed these games, and I did my comparison, but, like, generally speaking, I feel like I am more inclined to, because like a lot of people seem to treat remakes or remasters or whatever as like a zero-sum game. Like either they're absolutely perfect or they have one flaw and they're a giant piece of shit. You know what I mean? And because like people have very specific emotional, because like let's take your Spider-Man game for example. That's a game you grew up with that introduced you to Spider-Man, and it's very special to you. Like you have an emotional relationship with that game. Same thing goes for like the original Spyro trilogy. Those were childhood staples for a lot of people, and they're great games too. So like there's something you want to keep playing when you grow up and become an adult. And people, I think, tend to obsess over a lot of those details and they don't like the idea of there being another interpretation of something they grew up with or something that they're familiar with.
You mean like Silent Hill 2?
Yeah. Like your relationship with Silent Hill 2, that's a game that's very special to you that you've loved since you watched your sister play it, I think, right?
It was a prime influence during my formative years.
Yeah, and that's important. I respect that people have deep emotional connections with art that they love, that they've experienced since they were young. I get it, but it's also like I feel like Silent Hill 2 is that game more like Resident Evil 3 remake or Resident Evil 2 remake? Like how much of it is reimagined?
You have to ask Alonzo that one.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 remake is more like a Resident Evil 2 remake.
Okay, so it does
Resident
have
Evil 3
like some of
remake
the original level design
is
in
not
it.
really a remake of 3. It's kind of its own game. That's why a lot of people really didn't like it. And the advertising it as a remake for 3 is interesting because it's a lot of stuff that was even skipped. A lot of gameplay stuff that was changed to 3. 3 wasn't even really that well liked in the first place, so it didn't really need the remake. But
I'm weird in that I liked the 3 remake, but I get why someone wouldn't. I see it as a reimagining.
It's a fine game. It's not a great Resident Evil game.
Now, did you
disagree with that? I think it's a fine Resident Evil game.
Hold on a sec. Pause. Did you really have to get a key to lift up that platform so you could jump up to the next level when Spyro can literally fly?
He can't fly.
Well, he can only fly when he feels like it.
When he has magic.
That is true. That is a thing.